Hey, Kyle here. I've been doing a lot of painting today and a lot of conversion work yesterday. So I thought I'd show basically what I've got painted so far, and all I really have to paint is my Land Raider and my Assault Squad, as well as my pretty much all my conversion stuff, which won't be too hard. In particular, one of my sergeants are going to have a crappy paint job. Well, not really crappy, but simple. My other sergeant, which I just put together and converted out of the leftover legs from my old Chapter Master model. So, a lot of green stuff work on him. So I'll show you what I have painted thus far. This is all I have painted today, except for this. I'm going to work on next. I have my twin-linked assault cannon and twin-linked heavy bolter done. I have the hatch for my Rhino, just in case. I made it purple. I got my 2 hurricane bolters done. I got my tank commander. Doesn't really do anything, it's just for looks. Just an alternative to not having a weapon. I have this guy, which I have to do his face. I have some ideas about that. My driver with a helmet. So the reason that I painted them red is that they're all Tech Marines. Because the Tech Marines are the ones who manage the tanks and everything, so I think they all should be Tech Marines. I've done my Hunter-Killer missile, just did something simple 2-color. Did both the hatches, 1 color. And these are for my Razorback, which are green. Now I have painted up my Razorback, it is done for the most part, just have to do the scroll. Did something fairly simple, just purple everywhere. Green in the indentations and green on the doors. Did that green. So, there you go. I didn't bother painting the bottom gunmetal under there, because you're not going to see it. And I'm not going to paint the treads. I might do some gunmetal on the wheels. I might just keep them black. So, there's my Razorback repainted. Conversion work. This is going to be the next thing I'm going to finish up. I already have the little targeter lens I'm going to put in there. And I'm going to put a cable going from there to his backpack. And then it'll pretty much be done. I won't be doing much else. This guy's done. Be the last thing to prime. This is the guy I stripped. Oop. Hate dropping shit. I put on the bike power sword, and I just put a bolt gun. I took off the storm bolter. Saves 10 points. So that's my newly, yet again, stripped sergeant. This is my new sergeant. Might be my Devastator sergeant. Might put together a Devastator squad eventually. So this is a cybernetic chainsaw arm that is actually from a Sentinel. So I just really used an extra piece off of another conversion and just used that as a filler piece. I put a bolt gun on him. I used an old, this is actually like a it's like somewhere between Mark II and Mark III. This is actually a Chaos arm. Can't really tell it's really Chaos arm, so it was actually a chainsaw sword, so I just cut it down to where the handle was left and just put it on there. You can't notice. It doesn't have any Chaos-y stuff on it. It just has rivets. Could be a Mark II armor piece, so you know. I put the little kilt on there, or not really kilt, but the little pistol. This is actually from the Chaos kit that I got, but it didn't have any Chaos markings, so I just said whatever. I did this little cloth jacket thing because this is, these are the legs from my old Chapter Master, and it's like flat all across the top there, so I just sort of balled a piece of green stuff, put it on there, and then I put this kilt around it, or robe, and then I just put pockets around it to sort of hide some of the faults, and put frag and crack grenades in the back. I went ahead and used an Imperial Guard backpack just to sort of fit with the cybernetic theme, and it has a searchlight, antenna, and whatnot. Sort of Devastator kind of deal with him. So that's him. He's done. Just got to prime him up and paint him. Now this next conversion might be too awesome for normal eyes. This is my completed Chaos Lord on Disc of Tzeentch. The Disc of Tzeentch is was just sculpted on a round base using the perimeter as the guideline. Then I just sandwiched it on my large square base, so I can make flat on the bottom, flat on the top. And these are just tusks I rolled up. Instead of having the blades that normally a sorcerer would have on his Disc of Tzeentch, I sort of mixed it up a little bit and put tusks. More lordish, I think. And yes, that is a Space Marine that has been ripped to pieces. I don't know what chapter I'm going to make him. I might make him a Blood Angel. Just because I don't like the way that their Land Raiders Deep Strike. And I think it would just be silly. Put a dagger on there. Sort of like as if it's embedded in snow, because it's going to be a snow base. A old Mark II backpack. A bolt gun. Embedded in snow. Same with that. And this torso here has a hole in its chest, slashes on the other side, shoulder pads bit up, guts are going to be hanging out. It's going to be gruesome. And that's his arm with some cuts on it and a hole in it, like from the melter weapon. And that's his head. And I use green stuff in between all the joints and everything. I think I mentioned that in my last video on this guy. He is top heavy. If you push him on the front, he will fall over, but it won't be a problem. It's balanced enough because I weighted down the base really a lot with green stuff. So yeah, he is good to go. I'm gonna wait until I get all my Space Marines primed up before I prime him. Because I just want to know that I have all my Space Marines primed for Games Day. So this is a lot of stuff that I have done in the past day. I've done this guy, and I've done this guy, and I've repaired this guy, and done some stuff to this guy. And this is going to be the last conversion I'm going to be doing for a while. So, I'm sorry guys, but until I get a job and start paying for my own shit, I will have a lot more conversion work to do. But for now, this is going to be my last conversion for a long time. Maybe a month or two. So, look forward to my last conversion for July. On there. Oh, shit. So, I got all this to finish up. I just have to really put another coat of green on this. I just use Reaper Muddy Olive. Just because there's more in there. But I have to put a second coat because the flaw with Reaper paint is it doesn't have as much pigment, which means it's thinner. So you normally have to put a second coat on stuff, which really isn't much of a problem because you get more in this than you do in, say, this, or this, or this. So yeah, and it's kind of cheaper too. But that's really all. I'm sort of getting some Citadel paints because, you know, some Citadel have different paints that Reaper doesn't have, but Reaper has paints that Citadel doesn't have, that kind of deal. So, your Devastator Sergeant might be in my army for Games Day. Might be in my Devastator squad with my 2 plasma rifle guys. I might convert something up into a heavy bolter marine because I have a heavy bolter laying around in here. So yeah, I hope you guys liked all my painted stuff. My Land Raider is most likely going to be next after all this stuff. After this and second coats of this. So my Land Raider will finally be painted up. This is Kyle X Pie 665 signing out. Goodbye. For now, of course.